All right, so welcome to tonight's restorative fascia release. We are going to get started in a child's pose. So before you get started, make sure you have everything that you need. You will need some pillows, blankets, maybe if you have yoga blocks, get those. But to start with, you can just start in a child's pose as you know it to be, or you can have a supported child's pose, which is what I'm going to demonstrate now. So if you have a pillow, you'll take the pillow, and if it has a short end, like mine does, you're gonna put that between the legs. So the knees are wide, the big toes are touching, and then you're gonna just lie yourself all the way across the pillow and let your head just kind of fall on it. And then once you have your whole body supported, let yourself kind of melt into the pillow beneath you. And just think about your breath at this time. Just think about how you're breathing. Notice it. Notice if it's shallow or if it's deep or if you can't tell. And see if you can start making your breaths a little longer. So inhaling all the way to the belly, making it a really deep inhale. And then exhaling fully, letting every sip of that air back out. And you just repeat that. Inhaling deeply to the belly. Exhaling fully. Notice how your body just gets a little closer to the ground with that exhale. And now I want you to notice with each breath, any place that feels really tight and that you feel like you might be gripping onto, imagine that you're sending your breath to those spaces. So maybe it's in your face, your jaw, your brow, maybe it's in your hips, maybe it's in your feet, maybe it's in your shoulders and traps, neck, your back. And imagine that your breath goes there to let go. We'll take 3 more breaths, making them really deep here. It's just holding and being. Couple more. And then start to walk your hands so that they're right underneath your shoulders and gently press yourself up and off of the floor or up and off of the pillow. Coming all the way back to your heels in this short kneeling position. And then roll the shoulders 3 times one way. And then 3 times in the opposite direction. All right, so next thing we're going to do here is we're gonna take this pillow, leave it where it's at, and you're gonna turn yourself around. And you may wanna have another pillow nearby or a different, or a blanket, because you may want to stack them in case your one pillow is a little too shallow. But we're getting into this reclined position where we're going to open the hips, so you can either have your legs wide like mine are, or if it feels better to you, you can just butterfly the feet where the soles of the feet are together and opening up through the hips. Either way, just pick the variation that works best for you. You could play around with it. Check one, see how it feels. If you don't like it, try the other one. I'm actually going to put another blanket on top to give me additional support right behind me. So once you have the support that you want behind your back, you're going to have that pillow snug up against you. You're just going to let yourself fall back onto that pillow. And just see how that feels. If you want additional support, you can fix it. I'm going to put another blanket so that my head is supported a little bit more. And so this is a little bit of a back bend. If this is too intense, just stack it a little bit more so that you don't have such a deep back bend in this pose. But once you're there, let your arms open wide. This is going to open through your chest. This is going to open through the front of the shoulders. And then try to keep your chin away from your chest. You're sending your gaze up to the ceiling. You can close the eyes if that feels okay. Palms are facing up towards the sky. If your legs are wide, just let the feet flop. If you have them in a butterfly position, just let them be. Maybe if it feels okay, you can bring the feet a little closer to your body, or if you need a little bit less intense, you just push your feet away from your body. Make that diamond a little bit bigger. And then just breathe deeply again, coming back to those deep breaths that we had at the beginning of our practice. Notice if you're gripping in your brow or in your jaw. And again, using your breath, use that breath to let go. And then think to yourself, I am relaxed. I am safe. I am safe to let go. If you feel like you are trying to hold a pose that is causing pain, please don't do that. Please just come back to a place where maybe you feel sensation, but it's not painful. You can make your pillows taller, or you can completely just roll to your side. If this is just too intense, that's okay. And then we'll take another deep breath here. And as you exhale, roll on to one side. So you may need to guide your legs together gently. So just bend them if they're wide, or if you have them in that butterfly, just guide your knees together And then let the knees fall over to one side off of the pillow. Let your head rest on your shoulder. A little moment of transition here. And then notice all the sensation after that pose that you held for a little while. And then use your hands to press into the floor and guide yourself up back to a seat. Take your time. And we're going to come back to a tall seat, but I highly recommend that you sit on the edge of a blanket or something that can raise your hips up off the floor. So I'm going to put my blanket down and I'm going to sit on top. I'm going to widen the legs here. If you have hypermobility in your knees, kind of like they bend the opposite way, I highly recommend that you put something underneath your knees. You could have blocks under them to give you additional support here. Or if it's just too painful and it just doesn't feel right for your knees, just give yourself support. You don't have to have them completely straight out. So I'm actually going to leave mine there. And then take your pillow, put it in front of you, like so. I'm going to stack another blanket on top. It's up to you how high you want this to be. Where we're going with this is we're going to fold forward on top of our pillow blanket situation. So make yourself really tall. As you inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, start to hinge forward at the hips first with a flat back, okay? And once you can no longer keep it flat, this is when you start to round over your props. And then wherever you land, let yourself land there. Let your head kind of hang there. It might be hanging. You might not be able to reach your head to the pillows and stuff. That's okay. If you want your head to be supported, you can just stack as many things as needed to do that for yourself. The arms, just let them fall where they fall. And just notice the sensation. You're going to feel this along the low back. You're going to feel it in the hamstrings. You might feel it in your glutes. You might feel it in your calves. Let your feet kind of just relax here. They don't have to be tight. You don't have to be holding them. We're not trying to force anything at all. We're allowing gravity to do this for us. Gravity and your breath. I don't know if y'all did those Copenhagen things today, but holy crap, I'm feeling them right now. Those Copenhagen planks are no joke. So yeah, you might be feeling those adductors. Hello. And just breathe. Breathe into those places that feel uncomfortable. Now here's another thing that you could do. If you feel like your shoulders and traps are trying to like crunch up towards your ears, you can actually send your hands behind you, interlock your fingers, and let the weight of your palms go back behind you to keep the shoulders away from you. It's going to open through the front of your shoulders as well, so you can play around with that and see how that feels as well. We hold a lot of tension and stress in our shoulders and in our hips. And so taking the time to let go in these areas of our bodies actually signals to our body that we can relax. And it encourages and supports our ability to recover. Continue to deeply breathe. If you have your hands behind your back, interlacing the fingers, just release those hands, bring them back out in front of you, and then start to roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time, coming back to that tall seat. Take it slow as you get back up. You're going to feel things. If you start to moan and groan, that's part of it. It's okay. And then just take any movement that feels good. You can shake your hands, you can wiggle your feet, you can circle your ankles, and then we're going to stay in this pose with our legs wide here. But what we're going to do is take this to a side bend. So you can take the pillow if you want to. You can either put it on the side of the leg, you can put it on top of the leg. You can take a blanket if you want it to be a little lower. So it's up to you how you want to support it. But that's how you can use your props. You can just put it on top or to the side. And we're going to turn the torso towards the leg that you've prepared with your props. So I'm going to use my blanket as support to begin with and kind of play around with this. Inhale, make yourself tall. And exhale, walk your hands down that leg. And then go as far as your body allows you to go. Not to a point of pain, but where you do feel sensation. And then once you're there, let your hands just fall where they fall. You may be at your shin, you may be at your ankle, you may be past your feet. You know, it's up to your body's flexibility at this point. But whatever it is, it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes I hear people start complaining about, I'm not flexible enough. I can't do this. Wherever you are is actually fine, and you're where you're supposed to be at this time. So it's okay. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, melt into this. You may feel this along that left side of your body, or whichever side you're on, right? So I'm on my right leg, so I feel it on the left side. If you're on the opposite leg, you'll feel it on the opposite side. Let your shoulders relax away from the ears. Again, we're not going for forcing anything. We're going for allowing gravity to do the thing that it does, which is pull us down a little bit further to the ground. And allow the breath to release any muscles that you may be contracting and holding on to. Your forehead might come to your knee, it might come to a block, it might come to that pillow, or your head might not be touching anything, and it might just be dangling, and that's okay too. Now, here's another thing you could do if you want to get into this a little bit more into a twist. So the hand that is on the outside of the leg, you can wrap it behind your back and start to open up your shoulder towards that side. So it's like a little twist, and then you can try to wrap that arm behind your back and try to reach the opposite hip. Now, notice if you start to cramp at all. If you do cramp, please back out of it. If you have any sort of pinching or numbing or even any tingling, I don't want you doing this. Only go to where your body is like still okay with it. and you're able to hold this. Maybe a little uncomfortable, but definitely no pain and no sensations like I explained. And then once you're there, maybe your other hand comes to the opposite side of your foot to give yourself a little bit more support to stay in this twist. Or you can just stay where you are. And then if you have this twist, go ahead and start to unwind your twist. Hold it back in this more neutral side bend for a moment with a deep breath in and out. Walk your hands in towards you and start to rise up slowly. Ooh, feel all the feels. Okay. Shake it out again. Maybe lean back if you need to. And then we're going to take this to the other side. So each side is different. Notice if you need additional support or not as much support on this other side. But once you're there, I'm going to have this pillow here in case I want it. Allow your torso now to turn towards that other side. Make yourself really tall on an inhale. And on your exhale, start to hinge over that leg. And then let yourself melt over it. Maybe your head starts hanging like, see, this side's a little bit different for me. I actually can't touch my knee on this side for now. I'm a little tighter. So this is my left leg, and on my right side, I'm definitely feeling it in that low back in the right. And that's okay. Just notice it. Observation with curiosity, not judgment. That's my recommendation and invitation for you today. Observe and be curious about it. What is your body telling you? Notice if you're gripping anywhere. Sometimes when we feel those sensations that don't feel good, we start to crunch our faces, or we tighten our jaw, or we tighten our feet. Just notice. And if you do see and notice those things, breathe into those places, inviting in relaxation, telling your body that it's okay, you're safe, you're not in any danger. And last but not least, let gravity pull you as it does a little further into this pose with each breath. And now here's the opportunity for you to take this a little more into a twist if you would like. So that arm that's on the outside of the leg, you're going to take it back behind you and wrap it behind your back, trying to reach for your opposite hip. You may not touch it. You may or may not. And then once you're there, allow your shoulder of that arm that's behind you to open up towards the outside of the leg, and the opposite arm, you can leave it where it is, or you can try to take it to the outside of the leg to give you a little bit more of that twist. And then see if you can turn your face in that direction as well. So you're going a little bit deeper into a twist in this side bend. If, again, a reminder of all of the things, if you have any pinching, tingling, numbing, or pain, do not do this. If your body starts to cramp, don't do it. So just notice. Again, we're not forcing anything. We're just getting ourselves into these shapes to invite in relaxation. Even if it's uncomfortable, we come back to our breath and just be with it, unless it's painful. Relax your face and just come back to your breath. You might even notice some sensations that you would think aren't related to the pose that you're doing. For example, right now, I actually feel this in the arch of my foot, which is bizarre, but it's because of the connective tissue in our bodies. Everything's connected. And so sometimes these postures bring out some things that it's like, oh, if I do this, it actually releases this other part of my body that feels like it's not related, but it's all connected. If you're in this twist, go ahead and gently untwist that arm that's behind you, coming back to the original pose we were in with your body over that leg, holding it here for a moment. And then gently start to walk your hands in as you roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time, really slow. Whew. Feel all the things. I hear cracks. And then move all the props out to the side. We're going to lie ourselves on our backs, but before you do, make sure that you have your pillows and stuff close by. So to support your back, I highly recommend that you put a pillow underneath your knees. And then for your blanket, make sure that's close by. You can use your blanket to cover yourself up, or you can put it over your belly to signal to your body that you are resting. When we put that extra weight on the belly, it helps the body to know, hey, you're safe. It's like a little weight that you could put on yourself. So get yourself situated in this pose here. And then if it feels safe for you, you can close the eyes or you can just stare at the ceiling. Keep your arms down by the sides. Deep breath in, sigh it out, and melt into the floor. And now I invite you to bring in some wiggling of the fingers and toes. Taking a deep breath in as you reach the arms up over your head, stretching from your fingertips down to the toes. Ooh, and then roll onto your favorite side, whichever side you want. For a moment of gratitude for taking this time to take care of yourself and of your body and recovery so you can come back hard the next day. Press yourself up into a seat. You can keep your eyes closed or you can have a softened gaze. Hands can be in your lap, or if you want, you can bring them to your heart. Another deep breath in and out. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this evening, my friends. The light in me loves and honors the light in you. Namaste.